So I'm happy to have Alison Metcalfe here, Tourism Ireland's head of North America and Canada and New Zealand and Australia. Welcome, Alison.
Great to be back, Patricia, as always.
So I know that international travel rebounded pretty much quicker than people expected. What's happening in Ireland and Tourism Ireland? Were you able to rebound?
Absolutely. I think, like a lot of destinations, the recovery took hold much stronger and much faster than we anticipated. And a lot of that was obviously due to the restoration of the air access, the direct air access. We saw the resumption of flights from 13 gateways in the peak summer period, and as we move into the fall and into 2023, we're going to see the restoration of air access from pretty much all gateways, with the exception of Minneapolis. So we've seen some new additions coming in for 2023. We've seen Aer Lingus opening up Cleveland next year, and of course United are reinstating Shannon to Chicago. So the air access is a big driver, but I think also just the pent up demand. People had wanted to get traveling. They'd been at home a long time, done a lot of road trips, and a lot of that that recovery. It started after St. Patrick's Day, but it really didn't get going until the US lifted its requirement for testing to return to the United States, and that was sort of in later in May. So the diaspora were very sort of instrumental in leading that recovery. And as the spring and summer months have unfolded, we've seen ongoing momentum, people just wanting to get back traveling, and I expect by the end of this year we'll get back to about 80% of 2019 visitor levels, which is much higher than we expected. So we're very happy about that.
And since you mentioned Shannon, and that's my area of home, do you think we'll see year-round access flights to Shannon from?
Yeah, well, we've obviously got. I mean, there's always been the seasonal access. So what we'll have for next year, we will have Aer Lingus flying JFK and Boston to Shannon, and their services are pretty much year round, certainly from JFK. United are also operating from Boston and Newark, and they've added in, as I mentioned earlier, Chicago Shannon. So we'd obviously like to see other US carriers back as well, but obviously it takes time, and there have been challenges around, aircraft availability and those types of things. But I think we're in a good position. I mean, that with Shannon as we head into 2023, and of course, as we always like to remind people, obviously the ease of travel is very important to people, and arriving in Ireland, in Shannon, particularly if you want to start a trip along the Wild Atlantic Way, it couldn't be easier. And we recently had Mary Considine out, CEO of Shannon Airport, doing some promotional work with us, and just reminding people of that ease of access, and also their investment in new technology, security technology for screening. So you can breeze through Shannon Airport. You no longer have to take out your toiletries. You no longer have to take off your shoes. Just reduces the stress of travel. And so I think Shannon, I would expect Shannon, in demand, but also air capacity to continue to come back over the next sort of year or two. But at the moment, we're pleased with the services that have announced that they will be operating for 2023.
That's fantastic. So how important is the US market? I actually know that over the years, over the generations, there was a lot of immigration from the west coast of Ireland. So I guess that will help play into diaspora. How important is the US market, and what are you doing to keep the momentum going, the recovery going?
Well, the US market is really important for Irish tourism. I mean, it's the number one market by revenue. So that's in terms of the amount of money that visitors spend in Ireland. And it's number two by volume, the number of people that visit. So pre-COVID, which we keep quoting, we welcomed 1.7 million Americans spending 1.6 billion euro.
Wow,
And if you look
that's
at
a
North
lot of
America,
money.
it's a big market. And if you look at North America as a whole and you put Canada into that, it's close to 2 million visitors. So it's really important. I think what we want to continue to do, it's important that tourism continues to has a positive impact right around the country. So we'll be increasing our promotion, obviously, of giving people reasons to travel to the regions. We want to make sure that every part of the island of Ireland sees a positive impact in terms of tourism. We want to extend the season. So again, looking at extending the season outside of that sort of September to April period. And I think as we build back, like a lot of destinations, but with in the Irish context, I mean, and certainly from a tourism perspective, we're putting sustainability at the heart of our recovery strategy. And our recovery strategy had three phases. It was all about restarting, which is what we've been doing this year in 2022. as we move into next year, it's about rebuilding that growth in a sustainable way. So economic sustainability is obviously, of primary importance. We want to make sure we have businesses that are stable and sustained into the future, but then making sure that we can also deliver a positive impact on the social and the environmental agenda. So making sure that communities feel a positive benefit of tourism, and also the environment. So over the next 3 to 5 years, that'll become even more important for us, and I think indeed for a lot of other destinations.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love to hear that, you know. I mean, Ireland is way ahead in terms of really, you know, plastic bags and all of that sort of stuff. So that's really good that you're carrying on that. Last year you launched this great campaign, the Pushing the Green Button campaign. What are you doing this year to entice next year's?
Well, we're going to keep the Green Button campaign going through to St. Patrick's Day. I mean, it's been a very successful campaign. It was designed to, encourage people that have been researching and planning potential travel to Ireland to just, take that action, take that next step, and actually book. It has been very successful. We've had really high levels of engagement, and I think we can see that in the number of visitors that will have travelled to the island of Ireland in 2022. As we move past St. Patrick's Day, we will be launching a new, what we call a brand campaign, a new advertising campaign that will take us back to inspiring more Americans to think about Ireland. So it'll be looking at the Green Button campaign was all about getting people to convert and take action now. This will be about creating more inspiration for the island of Ireland as we build demand into the future. So stay tuned. We'll have something new to launch after St. Patrick's Day.
That's great. I mean, what kind of experiences do you think people are looking for? And are you offering new experiences? I know you've done the Wild Atlantic Way. There's been all sorts of great experiences. Are you building on that? Can we expect that?
Absolutely. I think that was one of the interesting things, even during COVID, when it wasn't possible for international travelers to visit, but still businesses invested in developing new experiences and new products throughout the island of Ireland. So I think what are people looking for? I think they're looking for a lot more immersive experiences, authentic experiences. They're looking to really sort of get under the skin of a destination. So whether it's if you look at food and drink, just if we go back to 2010, there were just 4 whiskey distilleries in Ireland. We now have 45, and each one has its own unique story to tell. Gin distilleries, I mean, obviously, gin, you can make gin a lot quicker than we can make whiskey. We've now got 25 gin distilleries around the island. And again, they've all got a unique story. They're offering different visitor experiences. They're using local ingredients and local botanicals. So again, in the food area, there's a lot of great food tours. You can do the Dublin Food Trail, Galway Food Trail, Belfast Food Tour, if you want to visit the markets, visit producers. So I think local is really kind of what people are looking for, having those local interactions with people, but also in experiencing local experiences as well. So that people are looking to learn, they're looking to experience something, that they're not just looking to be passive, perhaps in previous, over previous generations. They want to see great things, but they also want to get involved. So we're finding an increase in active experiences, and also in health and wellness. And I think those were trends that were there before COVID. But Ireland offers, great experience as far as outdoor activities, walking, cycling, golf. We're home to more than 1/3 of the world's links courses. It's been an incredible investment into our greenways and our blueways. So people looking to get out on the water, people looking to participate in cycling and walking along what were often disused railway tracks. So again, that commitment to investing in infrastructure so people can enjoy the outdoors has been there, and it's continued throughout the pandemic. So I think it's local immersive experiences. Certainly an increase in demand for sustainable experiences, but people want to feel that they're having a positive impact, and they want to feel that their travel is also meaningful.
When you talk about sustainable, what do you mean exactly? I mean, that they have a positive experience.
Well, I think sustainability means different things to different people. And as you mentioned, we're all used to recycling at home. I think sustainable means that, so for example, in Ireland, I think if you look at a lot of our experiences, if you look at food, we've got great sustainable food offerings there. It's that local story, the provenance, using local ingredients to create local dishes. Again, the great outdoors, so sustainable. We're not damaging the environment in terms of walking and cycling and and golfing vacations. So experiences that are having a positive impact. And I think we have a lot to offer in that regard already. Then if you look at some businesses, hotels and things, obviously we're working closely with the national development agencies like Fulcher Island. We're on a journey. I mean, obviously businesses are going to be encouraged to adopt more sustainable business practices, operating practices, and I think it takes time, but ultimately I think Ireland offers, it's green by nature. It offers a lot of natural experiences, and those I think in many ways are we can deem to be sustainable.
I couldn't agree more. And I love the fact that you're promoting Ireland all year round, because there's nothing more special than Christmas in Ireland,
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. And I think we've all got fond memories of what Christmas should be when we're back at home. But I think people sometimes forget we've got a very temperate climate. And as we head into, depending upon where you're living in the US or Canada, it's a great time to visit. It never gets too hot, it never gets too cold, it's less crowded. Often the airfares are less expensive. And there's a lot happening around the island of Ireland, and we have a huge number of festivals, not just in Dublin, not just in Belfast, but around the island. We pre-COVID, and I expect this to continue, we were seeing a significant increase in interest for people wanting to visit between Christmas and New Year, or certainly into January and February, looking at going to Tradfest. That was a great hook to visit. And I think, as Americans, if you get a few days off between Christmas and New Year, or even Thanksgiving, you can create suddenly 5 or 6 days, and you can get over there and take a car, go touring, stay in a lovely castle hotel or a cozy country inn in front of a crackling fire. There's nothing beats that. So yes, it's certainly the smart traveler, I think, has discovered the benefits of traveling in the shoulder season.
There's so many different experiences, and every county is to be experienced.
That's
And
right.
so for my viewers and readers, Tourism Ireland website offers a lot of ideas, right?
It does, yes. And if you're interested in beginning to sort of research and plan your trip, Ireland.com is the place to start. It is a one-stop travel shop. We as Tourism Ireland don't sell anything, but we are promoting the entire island of Ireland. So again, there's an opportunity you to use our trip planning tools based on your interests, your passion points, geography. So you can plan your itineraries according to your areas of interest, and whether it's genealogy, whether it's food, whether it's the great outdoors, culture, music, you get lots of ideas there. And then when it comes to booking, we can direct you off to different booking channels. But again, the site really is designed to give you those ideas, create inspiration, and also it's if you'd like to continue that journey with planning, you also have an opportunity to sign up to register to follow us on social, or to receive our regular emails.
Great. Alison Metcalfe, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you, Patricia.
Forward to seeing you in person soon.
Thank you.